Giorgio Armani sparks fury with his comments on the fashion industry. A millennial chooses to wear Victorian garb all the time. And are yoga pants actually bad for women? Welcome to 3 more articles on the subject of dress. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. My name is Jennifer and I believe that what we wear matters. In this series, 3 articles on the subject of dress, we're going to go over some current event topics relating to dress and how we present ourselves. I have some really great ones for you today. Before we begin, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. They offer classes that are designed for real life. Here are some examples of their classes that they have in their lifestyle section. Happy houseplants, caring for your plants, writing for self-discovery, 6 journaling prompts for gratitude and growth, from plant to cup, brew an amazing cup of coffee. They have all sorts of classes from lifestyle, illustration, design, photo and film, business, and of course writing. Skillshare is incredibly affordable at less than $10 a month. They have thousands of classes for you. If you click the link in the description, you get 2 free months of premium membership to help you explore your creativity. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Okay, let's get into the 3 articles on the subject of dress. Now, the first article we are going to discuss, I'm going to give you a trigger warning. It's going to be talking about sexual assault. So if that is something that really bothers you, perhaps skip to the next section, and I can leave the timestamps down below of what articles we are talking about at what time. So I just wanted to put that out there. Giorgio Armani, who is world-renowned Italian fashion designer, gave some statements, strong statements about the fashion industry. Let's take a look at this first article here. Giorgio Armani has been criticized for saying women are being raped by designers who push them to wear provocative clothing. The Italian fashion designer's comments sparked fury, and he was accused of diminishing sexual assault during a rant against sexualization in the industry. Mr. Armani, 85, who is famed for his modest designs, said, "It was time for me to say what I think before asserting that you can rape a woman in many ways." He said that throwing a woman in the basement and suggesting she dresses in a certain way were both forms of sexual assault. If a lady walks on the street and sees an ad with a woman with her boobs and in plain sight, and she wants to be like that too, that's a way of raping her, he said. Mr. Armani's comments, made on the sidelines of a show for his Emporio Armani line at Milan Fashion Week, were condemned by fashion insiders online. Tyler McCall, editor of Fashionista.com website in New York, said, "I would love to chalk this one up to an age, language, culture barrier, but An executive editor at fashion trade journal Women's Wear Daily, Booth Moore, tweeted, "The exploitation of women in fashion imagery is not a new phenomenon, far from it. And I do think Armani has tried to always be respectful of women in his work, but the word rape is very charged in any language." Mr. Armani found his fashion label in 1975 and is known as the godfather of Italian fashion. Okay, so let's talk about what happened here. Here's my opinion. I agree he should not have used that analogy, and I think it does diminish sexual assault victims and what they've gone through, and I don't think that it was proper at all for him to say that. So I condemn the statement as well. I do not think that he should equate anything to sexual assault. Is a horrible, grievous crime, and we should not diminish it by equating it to what he is equating it to here. That's my opinion. Now, let's go and just talk about what he's saying now. He used a very bad, unfortunate choice of words, I think. But let's see what he's trying to say here. And he's saying that in the fashion industry, women are being sexualized, and obviously, I mean, who can disagree with that? Everywhere you go, you are blasted with it. It's just in pop culture everywhere. And I think it is demoralizing for women, absolutely. And I think that it sets a precedent of how women are expected to be. They are expected to be these sexual creatures based on all of the advertising that you see, all of the pop culture push towards extreme sexualization of women. So I agree with him there that it's bad and that it needs to be talked about. I think he went about it the wrong way, and obviously he feels very strongly about this. Again, maybe it got lost in translation. I don't know. I know that when I lived in France, I said many things that I did not mean to say that were completely lost in translation. So I don't know what happened there. So there are two issues here. I think one, he used the wrong terminology because that could be very hurtful and triggering for people who have gone through a horrible experience like that, like real sexual assault. On the other hand, let's talk about what he's trying to say. I agree with him that the industry has gone completely overboard. And I'm going to give you an example of this. I did the recent critique of the Super Bowl here on my channel. I found it to be an overly sexualized performance with crotch rubbing. J-Lo was wearing a two-sided thong and buttless chaps, and she's rubbing her crotch on the stage. I don't even want to relive the experience. However, I voice my opinion as a woman with an opinion, and I put that on YouTube, and you would not believe how I was attacked for my opinion that it was a damaging performance for children to see. And there were children on the stage at the performance. I'm not going to go back to my whole Super Bowl rant, but I'm just saying that I personally believe that, and I'm entitled to my own opinion, just as Mr. Armani is entitled to his opinion. Now, you wouldn't believe the attacks that I got from men. Most of the attacks I got were from men. They called me the most horrible names you could ever imagine. They called me ugly on top of everything else and insulted my appearance, insulted everything about me, called me all sorts of vulgar swear words as well. Because this is the culture that we're breeding. If you speak up against what popular culture is pushing on women, you are public enemy number one. And that's what happened with me. And I discovered this firsthand. That's the type of culture we're breeding. That's what men expect now. And if you try to take it away, they get really mad. So I was simply voicing my opinion, and that's what happened. So I do agree with Mr. Armani that it's gone too far, and that the fashion industry should really take a step back and think, are we honoring women by really pushing this hypersexualization of them in advertisements? And I think that it definitely needs to be looked at. I think he used the wrong terminology, and maybe he did it for shock factor so people would talk about it. I don't know. But that's my thoughts on that one. It's a bit, yeah, we jumped right in there. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about all of this. Okay, moving on to a more pleasant topic. Let's talk about the millennial who chooses to wear Victorian garb every single day. This is not an article, this is a YouTube video, and I will leave it linked down below. And because of copyright issues, I cannot show you the video, but I will show you a few still shots of it here. And it says in the description, they're known for their obsession with technology and obsessing over selfies, but millennial Michael Korapich is more likely to be found perfecting an oil self-portrait than snapping Instagram perfect pictures on his phone. The 24-year-old professional portrait painter lives a very different life from his peers, preferring to pretend he's living in the 1800s. Despite being a young man in the 21st century, Michael insists on living in the past by strictly dressing in only Victorian clothes from the 19th century and filling his house with antiques. It's a very charming video, and I hope that you will watch it after this. It shows him and his brother, and they're good friends, but they're very different. His brother is very modern, and he is living in the Victorian era. And I applaud this young man. I think he is unique. I think he's original, an original thinker. He's clearly a talented painter, and he's crafted a life for himself that he loves. And this reminds me of the other article on dress that I did about the young gentleman who dressed only in the Regency era attire. And so I think that this is wonderful. I don't know how he does it though, because I would feel very self-conscious if I walked around all day in that attire, but it seems to work for him, and he's an artist, so I think it matches his persona. All right, let's go back to controversy. That was a nice little refresh. We are going to talk about why yoga pants are bad for women, according to this New York Times opinion piece by Honor Jones. Now, when she wrote this piece, it sparked outrage and fury, and I believe it, because every time I talk about yoga pants, people get really mad. So don't shoot the messenger. I am just going to read to you from honors article here. It's a new year and I've got a new gym membership. I went the other morning. It was 8 degrees outside and every woman in there was wearing skin-tight saran wrap thin yoga pants. Many were dressed in the latest fashion, leggings with patterns of translucent mesh cut out of them, like sporty doilies. Side note, I can't stand those. Okay, back. Finally, these women must have thought, pants that properly ventilate my outer calves without letting a single molecule of air reach anywhere else below my belly button. She's being sarcastic there. Don't get me wrong, I have yoga pants, 3 pairs, but for some reason none of them cover my ankles, and as I said, it was 8 degrees outside, so I wore sweatpants. I got on the elliptical. A few women gave me funny looks. Maybe they felt sorry for me, or maybe they were concerned that my loose pants were going to get tangled in the machine's gears. Men didn't look at me at all. At this moment of cultural crisis, when the injustices and indignities of female life have suddenly become news, an important question hit me. Whatever happened to sweatpants? Remember sweatpants? Women used to wear them not so long ago. You probably still have a pair in velour or terry cloth with the name of a college or sports team emblazoned down the leg. No one looks good in sweatpants, but that's not the point. They're basically just towels with waistbands. They exist for 2 activities, lounging and exercising, 2 activities that you used to be able to do without looking like a model in a P90X infomercial. So she goes on to say basically that yoga pants are that self-optimization for women. They are so tight and constricting and women want to look sexy and good in them. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? That I know that a lot of women wear them because it's easier to exercise in them. And if you read the comments of this article, it's 50-50. People either agree with her vehemently or they vehemently disagree with her. And they say that they don't wear yoga pants to appear for self-optimization. She said, but yoga pants make it worse. Seriously, you can't go into a room of 15 fellow women contorting themselves into ridiculous positions at 7 in the morning without first donning skin-tight pants. What is it about yoga in particular that seems to require this? Are practitioners really worried that a normal width pant leg is going to throttle them in mid-lotus pose? She says, we aren't wearing these workout clothes because they're cooler or more comfortable. We're wearing them because they're sexy. And that's what she asserts. Now, I don't know why women wear yoga pants. I have no idea if they wear them because they want to be sexy or if they wear them because it's easier to exercise in. A lot of women, as we know, wear them and they don't even exercise at all. So maybe they're comfortable. I have no idea what the reasons are. If you wear yoga pants on a regular basis, let us know in the comment section why you do. Why do you wear them all the time? So you know where I stand on this issue. I do not think that yoga pants have been good for women and fashion, and I think that it has replaced everyday wear and women are just resorting to wearing them. I don't think that they are clothes. I think that they are specifically for exercise and working out, and that they shouldn't be worn on a daily basis out doing regular things in public. So that is my very unpopular opinion, but I stick to it. And I would love to know what you think. Why are women wearing yoga pants? Is it to appear sexier? Why don't they just wear sweatpants when they work out? She's mentioned in the article that no men looked at her and checked her out because she wasn't provocative to them in these baggy sweatpants. So is yoga pants part of this whole thing that Giorgio Armani was talking about, where we women are feeling the need to show every contour and curve of our body and that we've become accustomed to that? And is that bad for women? There's so much to talk about in these 3 articles on the subject of dress. As always, I can't wait to read your comments down below. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link below and you can get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. Thank you for joining me on the Daily Connoisseur. If you come across an article on dress that you would like to see featured here, please send it to me. I will leave my contact form down below. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time on the Daily Connoisseur. Bye!